coming up. Homestead takes on Northside in a classic SAC doubleheader. The girls, number 3 in the SAC, look to keep their title hopes alive on senior night. The boys clash with the only other team unbeaten in the conference. Spartans, Legends, right here at Spartan Arena.
This is the OPS pregame report.
Welcome live to Spartan Arena on the campus of Homestead High School here as the Northside Legends and the Homestead Spartans are set to go head-to-head with some section action. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Noah Johanningsmeier, being joined alongside Braxton Hall and sideline reporters Noah Lancz and Anthony Gery, as we are just a few minutes away from tip-off in this one now. And Braxton, here tonight, it's a showdown between the two remaining unbeatens in the conference. It's a big one here tonight.
Yeah, it's not even just big. It is a huge one here tonight, and everyone in the arena knows it. The players, the coaches, the fans, and the environment in here is just absolutely electric.
And now let's get into the OPS pregame show here, as we will now take a look at the SAC standings. And as you can see, these are the two teams standing alone atop the conference, which shows the importance of this game, as Wayne and Concordia are waiting there in the shadows for these two teams to slip up.
Yeah, and this is a conference that is just so deep, especially from the top to the middle portion of this conference. So many good teams, 4 teams still with a realistic chance to win the conference championship. And, of course, the winner of this game sets themselves up in a great spot.
You mentioned the 4 teams all there at the top, and then there's also 3 more teams just sitting at 2-2, still with some realistic chances to try and compete for the conference, but they'll need a whole lot of help.
Yeah, they would definitely need some help for that to happen, but if they can just keep stringing wins together, beating who they need to beat, winning every conference game they play, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, you really never know. And all-time in this matchup, there have been some battles, and all-time in this series is currently dead even at 11-11. But as of late, the Spartans have been in control against the Legends, winning the last 5 games.
Yeah, this series has just been so great all-time, as close as you can get, tied at 11-11. Both these teams have had some lengthy winning streaks. The Spartans have currently a 5-game winning streak. Northside has had a 4-game winning streak 2 times in this series, the most recent of which coming in the 2017-18 season. A bit of a fun fact, Homestead and Northside first played each other on March 14th in 1992. And then looking at Coach Johnson, he's 11-10 versus the Legends in his career at Homestead, 14-14 against the Legends overall.
It's a very even matchup overall in the history of these two programs, and we're expecting another great game between these two here tonight. And for Homestead overall on the year, they've been playing at a pretty high level, but in their last couple of games, it hasn't been the same dominant Homestead team that we had become accustomed to, as they have lost 2 out of the last 4, but they did get that nice bounce-back win on the road on Tuesday at Columbia City.
And that was a win the Spartans really needed, especially coming off of that loss at Marion just 6 days ago. A great bounce-back game, having to go on the road against the Columbia City Eagles. And you look at some of the information for the Spartans there, sitting at 13-3 overall, still undefeated in conference play, as we touched on earlier. Ranked number 11th in the conference, number 16th in the statewide coaches poll. But then the numbers seem to be a little bit skew, as in Sagarin, they sit at 55th overall.
And how about in that last game against Columbia City, as we saw Will Jameson put up a career-high 26 points to lead them to victory in that one.
Yeah, Will Jameson had a great performance for the Spartans in that one, and he's really been having great performances all season long.
Leading the way for the Spartans all year has been the trio of Kyron Kalkawicki, Will Jameson, and Grant Leeper, as they have all impacted the Spartans in many different ways this year.
And kind of going from top to bottom here, Kyron Kalpawiki averaging just under 17 points per game and shooting an incredible three-point rate of 47%. Will Jameson, someone who likes to take jumpers a lot, we would expect more of the same tonight. Averages just under 18 points per game, hitting 75% from the free throw line. And then Grant Leeper can get it done both offensively and defensively. Just under double digits in points per game. But he also averages 6.4 rebounds per game, and he is a consistent field goal shooter, shooting 61% on the season.
You mentioned it. Just looking at Kyron Kalpawiki's three-point percentage on the year, 47% is just incredible. To have him as that outside presence, along with Will Jameson, who you said is able to knock down those mid-range jump shots, and then the post presence of Grant Leeper down low, to have this trio that just affects the game overall in so many different ways, really creates this Spartans squad.
And that's why it's so tough to guard this Spartans team. They really have a good player at each level of the floor. They have Grant Leeper down in the post, and now Tucker Day down there as well. They have Will Jameson, who's always ready to hit those mid-range jumpers, and then Kyron Kalpawiki always waiting on the wings for a chance at a three-pointer.
As for the visiting Legends, they are out to their best start under head coach Gery Andrews, who took the helm back in 2018. And what makes their 10-4 start even more impressive is they have been playing with a somewhat depleted roster for a big chunk of the year, as both Jordan Greed and Jackson Fugate have not played for the squad since mid-December, and Eugene Young Jr. was out for each of the last two games. Yet they enter this one on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, it's been tough with this depleted roster for the Legends, but they've done a great job of overcoming it, especially when you take into account that Green, Fugate, and Young were all starters at the beginning of this year, and their averages combined for over 30 points a game.
It's very impressive what the Legends have been able to do without their key players throughout this entire season. And overall, when you are missing key pieces like the Legends have been, someone is going to have to rise up to the occasion and fill that void. Bronte Johnson has done just that, averaging 21.1 points per game on the year, including an incredible 47 points last week against the Northrop Bruins.
And don't adjust your screen. Those numbers you see right there are correct. Bronte Johnson, we know how great of a football player he is. He's just as good of a basketball player, maybe even better. Comes into tonight averaging 21.1 points per game, just under 8 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists per game, and 7.5 steals per game. This guy can get it done everywhere on the floor.
He really does it all for the Northside Legends. And as you see there, Northside's legend. He does it all, and not just on the basketball court. He's also a football star for the Northside Legends.
Yeah, he's been a great football player for them, a great recruit for several D1 colleges among the area and the country. But I don't know, Noah, with the way he has been playing basketball, you have to wonder if maybe he thinks about going to college for basketball instead.
And taking a look at the averages for each of these teams coming into this one, it's another case of the Spartans where their opponent likes to play a much faster pace than they do, as the Legends average just shy of 9 more points a game than Homestead.
And you take a look at the stats right there. The Legends average 63.8 points per game. The Spartans, they just average 55.2. A big reason to that is we see them get up in some big in games or get down big in games, and we see them start scoring a lot less in both of those scenarios. Then take a look at the field goal percentages. Both of these teams are really even. The Legends sitting at 46, the Spartans at 44%. And then looking at rebounds, another really tight matchup. 28.6 for the Legends, 26.7 for the Spartans. And to me, that is really where this game is going to be won or lost. Rebounding, second chance opportunities, and making sure the opponent does not get second chance opportunities.
And now we're going to be sending it down to our sideline reporter, Noah Lancz, who's alongside Northside Legend head coach Gery Andrews.
Thanks, Noah. Coach Andrews, after 4 games in conference play, these are the only 2 remaining undefeated teams. What do your Legends have to do to knock off Homestead and remain undefeated in the SAC?
We really got to stop Kopecky and Jameson on the perimeter, then their post players inside. Make sure we take care of the ball. Homestead plays great defense. We really got to make sure we get good shots, take our time, and try to make it a running game.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck tonight. Now we're going to send it over to sideline reporter Anthony Gery, who's standing alongside Coach Johnson.
Thanks, Noah and Coach. The last few weeks have been riddled with tight games. Some wins, some losses, but throughout this rough stretch, you've remained undefeated in conference play. Now tonight, you get your toughest opponent yet in the Northside Legends. What do you have to do to be victorious?
Well, we got to make sure we get keep them off the boards. We can't commit turnovers where they're getting easy transition points. But, we've got to stay dialed in on the defensive end. Offensively, got to move the ball.
Good luck tonight. Noah, up to you in the booth.
Thank you, Anthony, and both of these coaches ready for this big SAC showdown as we will now be sending it to a short break, but we will be back with tip-off between the Homestead Spartans and the Northside Legends.
Watch out! And he slams it home. Grant Leaper with a step back. 3-ball. Swish! Kyron Kalpawiki from downtown again. Pulls up and hits. Curry driving inside. Nothing there. Step back. Open 3. It's gone! Todd Curry! Second, the Spartans are state champions. It's over. It's over. The Spartans are state champions.
We got a full packed house here in Spartan Arena tonight as the Northside Legends and Homestead Spartans are going head-to-head in this one as the starting lineups currently being announced here in the arena, and we will be giving you the starting lineups for each of these squads, starting off with the Northside Legends in this one, as they are going to have Michael Dye in at guard, along with Bronte Johnson or Tay Johnson, number 1 for the Legends, along with Bodie Dickerson, a forward for the squad, and then another guard, Javion Davenport, and then to round out this starting 5, it's going to be Eugene Young, a big man down low for this squad.
And looking at that Legends starting lineup, what really stands out is both height and experience. 3 juniors and 2 seniors starting for this team. And then the height, Tay Johnson coming in at 6'3", Bodie Dickerson at 6'5", and Eugene Young standing at 6'5" as well.
As for the Homestead Spartans, they're going to have the usual starting 5 for most of the season here, as it's going to be Will Jamison in at guard, along with Kyron Kalpawiki, the 2 leading scorers for this squad on the year, and then Jake Shermershine at forward, along with Alex Graber, and then the big man down low to round out the starting 5 for Homestead, Grant Leaper.
And just like the Legends, this is a team that is built on experience, 2 juniors and 3 seniors starting, but then one guy who you do not see on that starting lineup who can make a big impact coming off of the bench in this one, like we've seen in the last couple games, is big number 24, Tucker Day.
Yeah, we've seen Tucker Day be a big piece for this Homestead Spartan squad, as he did only start 1 game so far this season, as he trying to come back from that foot injury that had him out for most of the season, and now they're trying to work him back into that starting lineup.
Yeah, and they're just bringing him a little bit at a time, slowly increasing his minutes. But look at your screen right there. You see the Spartans players getting announced, the starting lineup, and these guys, they just look so loose, look so ready to go out and play this game. Similar for the Legends when we saw them get introduced. Both these teams just look so ready to go.
They look completely focused in this one as they know what's at stake. This is a potential SAC championship game. Of course, both of these teams could lose games later on after this one, but whoever wins this really gets a step above the competition.
And of course, Noah, neither of these teams plan on losing another game in the rest of the regular season, especially in conference play. Win as much as you can, because when you win, you're in control of your own destiny. And as we know, every team loves to be in control of their own destiny.
You definitely want to stay in control of your own destiny if you're either of these teams. And now we are going to be sending it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery, with an update right here pregame.
Thank you, Noah. And a big thing in practice this week was Coach Johnson was repeating the same phrase over and over again. Marion, we are playing Marion again. He wanted to reiterate to his team that this Northside team, a very fast-paced, very athletic team, and they, of course, Homestead lost to Marion on Saturday, so that's why this game is so important, and it's important that the Homestead Spartans don't make the same mistakes they made against Marion, turning over the ball and not playing to their pace. It's going to be fun to see how the Spartans correct their mistakes.
They certainly want to avoid those mistakes that we've seen so much in the past couple of games. We saw just over a week ago, they lost to Marion, or just under a week ago, 6 days ago, they lost to Marion. And then last Tuesday, they actually fell to the Blackhawk Braves by 24 points. And the Homestead Spartans looking to turn around this tough stretch right here against the Legends.
Yeah, and Coach Johnson certainly hopes that both of those losses has helped prepare his players for tonight. Obviously, you want to win every game that you can, but we all know winning conference games during the regular season is what is most important, because in the end, every team is gunning for that coveted SAC conference title.
Both of these teams looking for that conference title. As you're discussing, these two, the last remaining unbeatens in the SAC, as it's going to be Dye in the corner to start off the ball game. No dice for him.
Neither team coming out flying right now. Actually, I take that back as Sermershine pulled up from 3. But this is going to be a game that relies on who takes the smart shots and is not forcing things up throughout the night.
And right there, Bronte Johnson forces up a 3 and cashes it in. An electric score.
And when you're as good as Bronte Johnson, you can force up some threes like that and still expect them to go in. Not the best three-point shooter in the world, coming in at 28%, but just such a great player everywhere else.
Yeah, his volume and difficult shots definitely go up high, so those hurt the percentages as Grant Leeper gets a block at the rim, but then an offensive rebound and a follow from Johnson. A couple tips, and then it goes out of bounds, and it's actually going to stay with the Legends here as they have this 3-0 lead, and we get another look at the step-back 3 from Bronte Johnson.
And great job by Bronte Johnson there, dribbling to create some separation for himself so he could put that shot up.
Davenport with it top of the key there for the Legends as Jamison just kicked that one out of bounds. And how about this 3-2 zone we're seeing from the Homestead Spartans defensively? We don't really see much zone from Coach Johnson, but right here against the Legends, they're mixing things up.
Yeah, it's kind of a running joke that Coach Johnson never plays zone defense. With the way we've seen these fast-playing teams be able to score on them throughout the season so far, playing a 3-2 zone is Coach Johnson's counter to that.
As Will Jamison pulls up in the mid-range, could not get that to drop. Legends moving quickly. At the rim, it's Young. And then he gets his own shot missed, but then follows it in with a score.
Great job by Eugene Young there. We talked about him in the pregame show, how big of a player he is for this squad. Right there, even with the mess, he was able to stick with it for those second chance points.
Kapowicki looking for a look and then a travel. Kapowicki saw the shot go in, but it won't count as there was a travel called on him right before he got that one off. Just a little too excited for that open look.
And not a friendly response from these Spartan faithful. They did not like that one at all. But Kyron Kapowicki, we've seen him do that quite a bit throughout the season, trying to get the ball and score right off the pass. And we've seen him shuffle his feet a little bit throughout the year.
Young taking a 3-ball. Count. He's up to 5 already, averaging 11 points per game for the Legends. And in each of the last 2 ball games, the Legends were without him.
And right now, the Spartans are going to call a timeout, and I think they really need it. Just under 3 minutes into this game, and they're trailing 8-0.
The Spartans are really a team that just plays slow. They have played slow all season long. So when they face these deficits, it really will be difficult for them to get back into the game. So right now, 8-0, it's going to be huge for them to get something going offensively so they don't get down by a large amount here early on.
Yeah, this is a team that works better when they're managing leads, which some teams are not always good at, but this is a squad that is. When they're up in the lead, they're good at managing things, not letting the other team come back. But on the flip side of that, when they are trailing, it can be hard for them to get back into a game, especially if Will Jamison and Kyron Kapowicki aren't hitting their shots.
And how about on the Legends side? They were without Eugene Young each of the last 2 ball games, able to win those one narrowly over Canterbury and Northrop. But then in this one, Young coming out now just 3 minutes into this game. He's already up to 5 points.
Yeah, a great showing for him so far in this one, and it's been a great job by the Legends in this one, creating space, just like Kyron Kalpawiki was able to do there for the Spartans.
Yeah, there's some offense for the Homestead Spartans, as Johnson certainly drew that one up for Kalpawiki in that timeout.
And that is the perfect way to use a timeout right there. Draw up a play to get the ball to your star players.
Johnson settling for another deep jump shot, as Tucker Day with the rebound there for the Spartans. He checked in during that timeout. Spartans with one of their biggest lineups out on the court now, as Graber bakes one in off the glass.
And the Spartans really starting to get some things going their way right now. Tucker Day, who just came into the game, we already saw him on the ground fighting for the ball. Another big guy that the Spartans have on the court alongside Grant Leeper.
Davenport, a 13% three-point shooter on the season, just pulled that three-pointer and knocked it in.
And right now, the Legends feel like they can hit anything from three. Only one missed three-pointer so far. They're just getting them to fall.
Coming into this game, Johnson with a 3-2 zone clearly was just allowing the Legends to be able to shoot the three ball, and so far it has been working for the squad. And on the season, they're a 30% three-point shooting team.
Yeah, and you can't blame Coach Johnson for that strategy. Like you said, the Legends only shoot 30% from behind the arc as a squad. You're not going to expect him to come out in this game and scoring a bunch of points, but instead they have done just that. They've come out firing to attack this 3-2 zone of the Spartans.
They've also been playing some great defense, as they did just right there, getting a tie-up and a jump ball on a Kyron Kalpawiki drive to the rim.
The Legends have just been so aggressive on defense, but they've been doing a great job of managing their energy. We don't see them really driving down low too much on offense, just working things around the arc until someone gets open.
And for the Legends, Rashawn Bassett just checked in. He's a 9.5 point per game scorer, as they turn it over there and then quickly pick up a foul trying to slow that one down.
And that's not the worst foul in the world right there. We know the Spartans, well, they're not a team that always is playing fast. They are a team that is good at scoring on fast break opportunities. A pretty smart foul coming right there from the Legends.
Jamison takes the inbound now. This Spartan squad trailing by 6 in the early going. Haven't had too much successful on offense, as Day, a nice look at the rim there, just could not drop it in. But then Graber, with a great defensive effort, goes up strong and draws a foul.
And great job by Alex Graber there, not getting dejected after watching his teammate fail to score. As you get another look at it there, the Legends had the ball, but Alex Graber comes flying in, poking the ball away from Bronte Johnson and getting himself to the line.
The foul was called on Young there, so that's going to be his first personal. Second team foul on the Legends in this one. As Kyron Kalpawiki will check back in for the Homestead Spartans here. After the first free throw from Graber dropped in, he's up to 3 points now. Second one rolls in as well. Legends jumped out to an 8-0 lead early on in this one. Spartans now have gotten something going offensively. As a three-pointer from Bassett, he's a dangerous shooter. 42% on the year. Now Jamison attacking inside. Just pulls up there, cannot get it to go, but a great offensive rebound effort. Rebound now just getting tipped around. A fight for it down low, and it will be a jump ball. Nice effort there from both the Legends and the Spartans diving to the floor, fighting for that loose ball.
Yeah, that was a shot we don't usually see Will Jamison missing. And when that ball got loose, it was like a greased pig out there. No one could quite get their hands on it. Grant Leeper, Tucker Day, a couple of the big boys for the Spartans, they were trying to get it. Instead, it was a tie-up, and the Spartans now have possession again.
Yeah, when you see guys dive into the floor as much as we have early on in this one, you know there's big stakes on the game, and you know for a fact there are on this one.
Speaking of big stakes, we saw right there the ball go off of Kyron Kalpawiki, called out of bounds off the Spartans by the officials, and Coach Johnson was not happy with that call at all.
The Legends now trying to set something up offensively. They've just been pulling threes so far in this one, maybe trying to attack inside here.
And that's something I'm a little bit surprised about. They really have not gone inside at all this game. And I understand they've been hitting the three ball well, but eventually you're going to start slowing down from out there, which they might be starting to do already. And they've got to have an offense ready to go inside.
That time, the Spartans offensively were just a little too aggressive as Alex Graber gets called for the charge.
And there you take another look at it. Drove inside. Feet appeared to be set right there. Just a tough call going against Alex Graber. Not much he could do in that situation.
Yeah, Alex Graber just barreling his way towards the rim. And Bodie Dickerson, the quarterback for the Northside Legends this past season, he's used to taking some contact as he's a football player and just absorbed that contact and took the charge.
And this is a team that is just so physical. Several players on this squad that are also featured on the football team. And that's a huge advantage for this squad, having that physicality, especially in a conference like the SAC, where there are just so many good teams. And over a long, grueling season, you have to have that depth and that both physical and mental toughness if you're going to be battling for the conference title like the Legends are right now.
Right now, we have a hotly contested game early on in this one, an 11-7 game, as we are going to be sending it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery.
Thank you, Noah. And Coach Johnson certainly not pleased with Kyron Kalpawiki, as he did a rare thing, taking one of his most important starters out of the game early. Coach Johnson said while Kalpawiki was on the bench, he's got to stop forcing shots. It's too early in the game to just try to drive to the basket and push shots up. Not a lot of excitement on the Spartan bench right now.
The Spartans certainly want to be moving slower offensively, try to slow the game down and try to get things going offensively, get those good looks at the rim and those open looks outside.
And they've done a better job of that since that timeout from Coach Johnson a little bit ago. But they've got to stop the Legends on the three-point arc. I know they're playing zone. They're trying to give them those shots, but the Legends are just hitting so well right now. The Spartans are going to probably have to try to transition to a man-to-man D.
As Kalpawiki attacking inside, puts up a floater, just leaves it short. Rebound tipped around, and it's an offensive board. Now Day goes up strong, gets it to drop, plus the foul, and one for Tucker Day. And now Bassett in the corner, a three ball, no good. And a rebound, and another offensive rebound as Mikey Dye gets one to drop in the mid-range for the Legends, and now it's a 7-point Northside lead.
Yeah, and every time the Spartans start to close this gap, the Legends just pull away. Seems reminiscent of a couple games we've seen the Spartans in this year, where they just can't close the gap all the way whenever they fall into these deficits.
The Legends early on in this one jumped out to an 8-0 lead, and since then it's been right around that mark for the rest of this first quarter. As the Spartans trying to cut into that 7-point lead. Under 10 seconds left now in this first quarter. Jamison tightly guarded, and he's fouled. That's just going to be the fourth personal on the Legends.
Yeah, Michael Dye picking up his first foul of the game right there, and probably a smart foul with 5.5 seconds remaining in the quarter, forcing the Spartans to put a shot up.
Kalpawiki tries to get a shot up, and he's fouled, and will go to the line for two.
Kyron Kalpawiki, he alongside Will Jamison, they're so good at getting the ball around the arc and just driving inside. The other teams always know how great of shooters they are, and they force them to earn the points at the line.
Kalpawiki on the season at 84% free throw shooter. First one rims in. He's now up to 4 points through this first quarter, as he had the three earlier on. Just got that free throw to drop.
He's such a good free throw shooter, shooting 84% all on the year, and that was a good way to end the quarter for the Spartans.
With that, that will bring us to the end of this first quarter of action, as we will now take a short break, but be back with more Homestead Northside. Welcome back to Spartan Arena as the Homestead Spartans and Northside Legends are facing off, as we will now send it down to sideline reporter Anthony Gery.
Thank you, Noah. And since Spartan Arena has been built, this brand new gym, this is the largest capacity has ever been, the largest the student section has ever been, as it is filled up completely for this game. That's just how you know how big of a game this is, how important this is to the conference, and everybody in the southwest side of Fort Wayne knows how big it is, and they've turned out very well for the game tonight.
Thank you, Anthony, and it certainly is a great crowd out here tonight throughout this entire arena. A lot of Legends fans and a lot of Spartans fans have packed this arena up.
Yeah, there's almost no space inside this arena, even in the north side visitor section of this place. It is just a jam-packed house, and the environment is just so great in here.
It's been a great environment so far as we have a 5-point ball game through the first quarter. SAC title hopes on the line in this one. These two, the last two remaining unbeatens in conference play, as Davenport gets another three to fall. Once again, a 13% shooter on the season entering this one, getting hot tonight.
Yeah, the Spartans just can't do anything to guard this three ball from the Legends right now. It seems no matter what they try to do, it just does not work. And I think a big reason they haven't tried to do more is they don't want to leave the inside wide open for players like Bronte Johnson to get to.
Now Davenport moving quickly, goes inside. He will draw the foul, get the bucket, and he will go into the line.
What a great job by JV on Davenport as we get another look at that, going up over Kyron Kalpawiki and laying the ball in through the contact.
Davenport has come up huge so far early on in this one. He's already up to 8 points, his season high 12 points, and he's just been averaging 5.2 per game on the year.
This has been such a great showing from him alongside Eugene Young, especially with the Spartans doing a good job of locking down Bronte Johnson. These other players have been stepping up huge for the Legends.
Leaper trying to work inside. He gets double teamed, and Bodie Dickerson strips that one away.
And right now, the Legends, this north side squad, just completely out-hustling the Spartans. The Spartans just look a little bit tired. Their legs maybe starting to wear down a little bit. And that comes when you're playing really aggressive defense and you're getting played really aggressively when you're on offense.
Kyron Kalpawiki called for the personal there. That's going to be his second personal foul so far in this one. That's a big one.
And that's his second personal foul in as many possessions. A big player for this Spartans team. Someone we don't see get into foul trouble a whole lot. And someone the Spartans certainly don't want to see get into foul trouble tonight.
Right back, it's going to be a foul this time called on the Legend star, Bronte Johnson, and that's his second personal. So a key player for each of these squads picking up their second personal early on in the second quarter, as Tay Johnson will go to the bench here for a few moments, and Kyron Kalpawiki remains out on the floor for the Spartans.
The Spartans really got to try to work the ball inside while Bronte Johnson is out of the game. He's their big man, and the Spartans have got to find a way to exploit that.
Shermershine trying to feed down low today, as this offense just looking for anything, as they haven't had much going outside of some trips to the charity stripe, as Leaper goes up strong and gives it a little kiss off the glass, and it drops in.
And a great job by Tucker Day with the unselfish basketball. Had a chance to shoot it, but instead of forcing it up, he passed it over to his teammate Grant Leaper, who had the much easier opportunity.
Lead now just 8 for the Legends, as they're just holding this one currently. Bassett near the timeline here, just taking their time. When you're controlling it against the Homestead Spartans, might as well milk some clock.
Yeah, a little bit of gamesmanship here from the Legends, holding the 8-point leads. They're saying no shot clock in the state of Indiana. We're just going to hold on to the ball.
And what a finish there by Bodie Dickerson, as he got fouled from behind as well. And one, and that gives a double-digit lead once again for the Legends.
Holy cannoli. The right side of the gym just exploded. Every north side fan got up out of their seat, and they were clapping. What a great job there by Bodie Dickerson, getting the dunk and the foul.
And once again, you saw Young dive down to the floor to get control of that basketball and then feed it to Dickerson. And we talked about it earlier in this game. Effort plays like that could really decide a game of this magnitude, as it's a 4-0 versus 4-0 team in conference play.
And not only does it determine who wins this game, it shapes up the entire conference standings heading into the final weeks of the season. And this is a win that both of these teams gotta have.
Kyron Kalpawiki showing some strength there down low with that finish. Sizing up the defender. Gets the lead back to single digits here. The Spartans playing some aggressive defense in the half court as they get a tip there, and now it's a turnover. Outrunning Graber at the rim, and it goes in.
And a great job by Alex Graber there and the entire Spartan squad being able to set up that transition fast break opportunity and cutting the lead down to 7 points.
That was a big bucket, or a big steal, and then a bucket there for the Homestead Spartans. As you mentioned, it's now a 7-point ball game here. Overall, what have you seen from the Northside Legends in this first half that you think has gotten them this lead?
Well, it's being able to hit the 3 ball. We talked about it earlier. This team came into this game shooting just 30% beyond the arc, but tonight they have just come out firing. Something the Spartans certainly did not expect at all, and the Legends have rarely been missing around the arc. They really have not scored that many times in this game, but being able to hit those 3-pointers or get and one opportunities like we just saw is the reason the Legends are up right now.
And taking a look at both Javion Davenport and Eugene Young, those are two guys who coming into this one, we didn't really know what to expect. Davenport just a 5-point per game scorer. Young missed each of the last 2. But right now, both of those guys have 8 points so far in this one.
And that's something that's really hard to scout for if you're Coach Johnson. Players that haven't been super big factors throughout most of the season have just shown up and been huge factors in this one.
As that ball went out of bounds, you saw Dickerson try to save the rebound attempt. Could not do it, and now it's Spartans' ball once again. And yet another chance to cut into this lead. As Kalpawiki pulls the trigger on a 3 ball, short. But a rebound from Leaper. He goes strong, and it's a charge.
Grant Leaper picking up his 2nd foul here in this game. This is a guy we know all season can get into foul trouble, and that's just another tough foul right there. He's got to have a little bit better control of his body, try to find an open teammate. That's a charge that you just cannot have called on you in that situation.
Now Dye pump faking a 3 there for the Legends, as this squad has been dangerous from beyond the arc early on in this first half. Young trying to attack inside, goes in, can't get it to drop. Fight for the rebound, and Leaper cleans it up for the Spartans.
Young has been quiet for a little bit here for the Legends. They try to get him going there again, but the Spartans have done a pretty good job of locking him down.
Now Leaper at the rim and does a nice job with the baby hook over Bodie Dickerson.
Great job by Grant Leaper there, getting himself up to 4 points on the night. And right now, while the Spartans have the 2 big men in of Tucker Day and Grant Leaper, they've got to continue to do that, exploit the paint.
The Spartans crowd starting to get loud here. Back to a 5-point game now. Johnson inside, a floater, no good, but an offensive rebound. Johnson just sends it back outside, and they'll reset the Legends offense here. Davenport getting things going.
Well, and up to that rebound by the Legends there, that was the best defensive possession we had seen all game for the Spartans. Just doing a great job of forcing the Legends into a shot they don't want to take. They just have to do a better job of boxing out to get those rebounds.
And really right there, they got 2 defensive stops in 1 possession. Just got to get those defensive rebounds, as you mentioned, as that's going to be a struggle. When you're in that zone defense, it will allow for some more offensive rebounds to the Legends.
Yeah, when you're in a zone D, there's certainly more holes open for the defense to get, or excuse me, the offense to get into and get the rebound, get those opportunities at second chance points. but nonetheless, the defense did a great job of holding there and getting possession back for the offense.
As head coach of the Legends here, Gery Andrews is now having a word with the official as we have 2:45 left in this second quarter. The Homestead Spartans currently on a 6-0 run in this one, as they trailed by 11 just a few moments ago. Trying to cut into this lead even more so on this possession.
They've got to try to get Will Jameson and Kyron Kalpawiki going just a little bit more. The Spartans have been relying maybe a little bit too much on the paint.
Jameson last game had a career-high 26 points, 0 so far in this one as Kalpawiki misses a 3. Johnson now running for the Legends. He goes up at the rim, can't get it to drop, but an offensive rebound from Dickerson. Now Bassett, a deep 3, rims out. Rebound controlled by Day of the Spartans.
And Kyron Kalpawiki with that nice cut right there. The Spartans crowd loved that one. And even with the missed shot, the Spartans will retain possession.
And recently, the Northside Legends offensively just have not really had anything going for them. We saw them hit some threes earlier on. Not really the highest quality shots, though. Maybe that's catching up to them a little bit now.
Yeah, you've got to start taking some higher quality shots. Eventually, those big three-pointers are not going to fall. But for the Spartans, when you're able to get to the paint like this, you're taking shots that are almost certainly going to fall.
How about this big man bucket from the 5'10", Will Jameson, going up into the double team and finishing strong.
Will Jameson expressing his inner Grant Leaper right there, able to go through the defense. A great physical play from the 5'10" guard, gets the basket and now gets himself to the line.
And they will actually say there was no foul called on that shot, just a goaltending call on Bodie Dickerson of the Legends. But even with that shot, the Spartans still on a run here, currently on that 8-0 run with now under 2 minutes left in the second quarter. The Legends certainly going to be trying to silence that momentum.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to do it quick with just 1:45 left before we head into the locker rooms. Whatever team has more momentum heading into that break has a good chance to win this game.
Bassett at the rim, and this time it is an and one, as Brashawn Bassett gets his first 2 points of the game there.
Great job there by Bassett, able to drive inside, get the shot, and this game has just gotten so physical right now. But looking at the three-point stats, that's the big difference in this one. The Spartans only have hit 1 3-pointer so far. Meanwhile, the Legends have hit 5.
Lead back out to 5 now as Jameson could not get that to drop, but yet another offensive rebound. But could not drop it either.
Spartans had 3 guys there with good looks at the hoop, especially Tucker Day and Grant Leaper down low. None of them could get it to fall, and those are the shots you've got to make in a tight game like this.
Legends trying to get something going offensively. Davenport attacking. Can't get it to go, but an offensive rebound from Young. He's trying to go up strong, and he's blocked by Leaper at the rim. Now the loose ball goes out to Dye. Mid-range jump shot, no good. Cleaned up by the Spartans.
I'll tell you what, Noah, that was a possession and a half right there. Super physical play. Maybe the grittiest possession we have seen from both sides all game long. And that just shows you how much both of these teams want this win.
The Spartans, now with 30 seconds left in this second quarter, may just be looking for the last shot here, trailing by 5.
And we know that's something Coach Johnson likes to do, holding for the last shot of quarters. He figures it's kind of the best way to get a 2-for-1 in a state that does not have a shot clock.
Jameson going to be setting up the offense here for the Spartans. He's only got 2 points so far in this first half as he attacks inside. Over to Graber at the rim, no good, but the follow from Day drops in. 1 second left, and that will now bring us to the end of this first half of action. A 26-23 Northside Legends lead. As we will now send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery.
Coach, the lead got to as much as 9 for Northside in that first half, but you guys were able to battle back a little bit and cut this lead down. Still, though, Northside's outside shot, the three-point ball, remains a problem on that side.
Well, I mean, we're not finding their shooters. We got to get out there quicker on them. Offensively, we're just so stagnant. I don't know. I mean, we moved the ball well in practice. We've not done it so in the first half. Hopefully, we can get that done second half.
Noah, back to you.
Thank you, Anthony, and what a first half of action it was as the Northside Legends hold a 26-23 lead at the break, and now we will send it to a short break. We'll be back with our OPS halftime report.
Touchdown, Homestead! Jumper up. He got it! Zach Kruger hit the shot.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, subs, and more. Order online at marcos.com or by phone at 625-6800. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
This is the OPS Halftime Report.
Welcome live to the OPS Halftime Report. I'm Anthony Gery, next to analyst Noah Lancz. And Noah, what a first half we had. Northside got out hot. They held the lead, got up to as much as 9. But Homestead battled their way back, and now deficit only 3.
Yeah, it was 11-20 at one point in this game. Homestead was trailing. It seems like they have all the momentum now, though. Going into the half, they had a great comeback. Defense really was a lot stronger. That zone was working a lot better. That helped them get back into this one.
And Coach Johnson brushed on it a little bit. The Spartans offense has been a little bit stagnant. Again, Coach Johnson, in practice, he said they had to run a fast pace. It was the same game versus Marion, and now Homestead, they're not really doing what they need to do. It looks a lot like the Marion game where they were very slow at the start.
Yeah, that's really been a problem with the team. When they've been struggling to win these games, they've had a lot of close ones recently. They've been struggling. They've been a little slow, just a step slow. We've seen a lot of calls not go their way. That may just be not a step fast enough. Once again, this Northside team just playing faster. That's why they've been able to get out to the lead.
And we're going to take a look now at our stats from the first half of play. And both Homestead and Northside haven't really done an amazing job shooting the basketball. The Spartans, 39% from the field, and Northside, 36%.
Yeah, it's really shocking to see that the Spartans are leading, but the big difference there is in three-pointers. Northside has hit 4 more three-pointers up to this point and attempted 8 more. They're shooting much better from behind the arc than the Spartans. Spartans controlling it on the boards right now. 6 more rebounds, turnovers even at this point.
And those rebounds were huge in the Spartans' comeback in that second quarter. They just seem to be making every single contested rebound. Grant Leeper, Tucker Day, and even Alex Graber have been going to work underneath the basket, doing what they've needed to do.
And even on the offensive end with those rebounds, those three each got offensive rebounds and were able to score on that possession that they got the offensive rebound. Rebounding on both sides has been really crucial for this team.
We're going to take a short 30-second break here, but when we come back, we're back with more of the OPS Halftime Report.
This is the OPS Halftime Report.
Welcome back to the OPS Halftime Report. I'm Anthony Gery, joined alongside Noah Lancz. Now we're going to take a look at some of our scores from around the area. There are some big SAC games tonight, of course, this one being the main one in the area, Homestead, Northside, only two teams controlling their own destiny in the SAC.
Well, it's going to be really interesting with this one because of how the SAC is. 4 games into it, both these teams, the only ones still undefeated. You see all the girls have wrapped up, as we saw the girls here for these two teams play earlier, where Homestead was able to get a dominant victory. But we've also got some games at the half, one in the third and another in the second on the boys' side.
Yeah, not many impactful games on the boys' side. Wayne, they're still slightly in the hunt. Concordia as well, both taking care of business at the moment at halftime. SAC is a very deep conference where we see a lot of upsets, but right now everything's pretty chalk so far.
Yeah, it really is. It's been much different. Everything is close. We had teams kind of flip-flop earlier this year from years past. Teams at the top, now at the bottom, and vice versa.
And now we're going to take a look at some news from around the area, starting with, on the girls' side, Allie Stevens and Nevaeh Jackson, both reaching 1,000 career points. Nevaeh joins her sister, who reached 1,000 career points last week, and now it's just really great to see. Now, the 3 girls reaching 1,000 points this month. 260 girls basketball might be at its all-time peak, and they're just reasons why.
Yeah, we've got some great teams, and those are 2 of the best. Northrop and Homestead, 2 of the best. I mean, the Jackson sisters, 2 1,000-point scores on the same team. It's just crazy to see. Homestead's got 1 on their side, but that's really what makes Northrop so good, having so many different scorers, and it's just showing you how good the careers have been for those 3 players.
And talking about how good 260 girls basketball is, well, let's talk about this Homestead sectional. The sectional draw by the IHSAA will be at 5 p.m. on Sunday, and that's where we'll find out how Homestead, Columbia City, Huntington North, and Wayne will fare in that sectional. That one will be the one to watch, as all 4 teams really have a shot at winning the sectional title.
This sectional is going to be so interesting to see. We saw Homestead lose earlier this year against Huntington North, and then Columbia City. They've just had a great year, ranked number 9 in Sagarin right now. The Spartans sitting at number 15, but they definitely want to avenge their loss. If they do end up playing Huntington North in that sectional, it's going to be interesting to see how the draw comes out, though, because those 3 teams could all be on the same side.
Yeah, Huntington North hit a buzzer beater at Homestead's home court. Of course, Homestead, they're going to want their revenge. Columbia City, the favorites in this game, favorites in this sectional, which is unheard of. They want to get Homestead back, who's won the sectional 4 years in a row. It'll be very fun to see. And lastly, we have set up, Homestead winning tonight, Northrop winning tonight, has set up such an exciting game next week in girls basketball. It's all for the conference.
It's going to be so much fun. 2 of the top teams, Northrop still undefeated in SA SAC play. Spartans only have one loss. If they can go into Northrop, get a huge upset win, it'd be huge, three-way tie at the top, but you're going to want to watch it next Friday.
And yeah, how some of those scenarios would work out. If Northrop wins, they win the conference. If Homestead wins, it's either a share of the conference based on the result of the Snyder game, or they could win it outright if Carroll beats Snyder. That's certainly going to be a fun one to watch.
It really will be, and I mean, like we keep on saying, it's going to determine the SAC this year. Years past, Homestead has just been able to run through the SAC much more competitive this year. Losing to Snyder in overtime was a huge game last Friday. Going to be a fun one.
And now we're going to go straight up to the booth, because as the music says behind me, it is time for the second half of play between Homestead and Northside.
Thank you, Anthony, and we are ready for the second half of action as the Homestead Spartans are ready for this one. Will Jamison out there on the right side. Gives it out to Kalpawiki. Now down low, Leaper. As the Spartans ready for the second half. Trailing by 3 at the break as they turn it over on their first possession of the half.
Yeah, certainly not the start to the half the Spartans wanted right there. Trailing by 3 points. Certainly would have expected to see them coming out of the locker room a little bit better, but still obviously super early in this half and early in this game as well.
Tay Johnson now attacking inside for the Legends with a nice Euro step finish.
Great job by Bronte Johnson there through the contact. Was able to bounce off of it a little bit and then get a nice look at the hoop.
The Legends now applying some full court pressure here, making it difficult for the Spartans to even get across the timeline as they finally do. And then a foul's called there, as that time Brayshawn Bassett a little too aggressive.
Alex Graber looked like he was in a little bit of pain right there. Looks to be okay, though, so he'll still check in the ball for the Spartans. And that's just one of those plays that happens when you're playing an aggressive style of basketball.
So now a 5-point Legend lead as Jamison can't get that one to fall. But an offensive rebound, yet another one, and then it's stripped away. A steal for the Legends. Johnson out running. A nice attack of the basket, but can't get it to fall. But an offensive rebound. Bassett, a deep 3-point shot, short. Rebound controlled by Leaper, and a foul on the rebound called on the Legends.
That's going to go against Eugene Young Jr., someone who was a big player for this Legends squad in the first quarter. He slowed down a little bit in the second, but he, of course, is someone you want out on the floor at all times.
And that's going to be his third personal in this game, so that's a big foul for the Northside Legends overall. As Leaper gets a feed down low, sizing up on Young. Attacking, draws the double team. A nice kick out there, and now Day trying to score on Dickerson down low, and he does off the glass.
And a great job right there scoring for the Spartans. And that's what they're going to need to do in this game. Just work it down low. Don't force anything from outside of that area. If you get an open jumper or an open three-pointer, great, take it. But do not force anything at all.
As that three-pointer won't drop for the Legends. Tucker Day with the board. And Tucker Day's 4 points so far in this one are the only points, or 6 points in this one, are the only points off the bench for the Spartans, as he gets another one to drop in, and now he's up to 8.
Yeah, Tucker Day just balling right now. He came off of the bench in this one, but he has played a majority of the minutes in this game. And when you're Coach Johnson, it's hard to take him out when you have a player that is just playing this well.
Now Graber walks his way across the timeline as the Spartans facing a 3-point deficit here now. Been slowly working away back all throughout this game ever since the Legends jumped out to an 8-0 lead as Graber drops one in off the glass.
Great job by Alex Graber right there, able to score, and the big men are just going to work right now for the Spartans as the Spartans team continues to play a zone, maybe a little bit more of a 3-1 style compared to a 3-2.
As Tay Johnson pulls the trigger on a three, no dice. Long rebound for Young Jr. Now Davenport, who was big in the first half with 8 points. Trying to get something going overall for the Legends here. He once again has it over there in the corner. Bassett attacking inside. A nice attack of the basket, but couldn't get it to drop, and it's a rebound cleaned up by the Spartans. Grant Leipert. Kalpawiki for three. Bullseye for Kyron Kalpawiki.
And this game has just flipped on its head. You see a look at the student section there. They are absolutely loving it. Kyron Kalpawiki hitting that big-time three-pointer. And the Spartans, for the first time since the first quarter, have the lead in this one.
The first lead of the ball game for the Homestead Spartans. They faced the 8-0 deficit, and since then have just been trying to work their way back into this one, and now they have with this 2-point lead.
Yeah, it's been a great comeback for the Spartans. We saw them close out the first half well and just come out swinging here in the third quarter, doing to Northside what Northside did to them a lot in that first half. Just come out swinging, throwing up shots. If you don't get them to fall, you have your big man right there for the rebound.
It's been huge to see Tucker Day overall in this ball game come up off of the bench and play a great game for the Homestead Spartans as he's sitting with 8 points on the night.
Yeah, a great showing, especially coming off of the bench. We don't always see the best performances from bench players on this Spartans team, but Tucker Day, of course, is showing us a phenomenal performance.
As the Spartans still running the zone here in this one as Johnson pulls a three, no good. But then a foul down low on the rebound. That foul is going to be called on the Northside Legends down low. That's called on Brayshawn Bassett. That's already going to be another personal on Bassett here, because that's his third.
And that three-pointer right there from Bronte Johnson just kind of forced it up. Trailing by 2 points, you don't want to start getting desperate. We've seen how well this offense can work when it is going. Just don't force anything. Take your time on your possessions.
And right now the Legends playing some aggressive defense, trying to jump into those passing lanes. Day once again down low, trying to go to work. Goes inside and it's stripped away by Bassett. Now he's got it in transition, goes at the rim and finishes off the glass and ties it right back up, 32-all.
Great job there by Bassett, and that was a product of the Northside man-to-man defense right there. Able to stop Tucker Day and Grant Leipert from getting anything going in the post, and because of that, the Legends were able to get a great fast break opportunity.
Jamison now just sending it out. Back down low, we got Leipert, and he's blocked by Dickerson. Now a full court pass over to Johnson. So he lost that at first and has control. As we are going to get a stoppage of play here, as down on the court we have an injury, and now we will take a short break but be back with more Homestead Northside.
Ooh, I can't wait to get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena, as we just saw Brayshawn Bassett be able to walk himself off of the court there. He took a hard fall to the floor.
Yeah, and that's something you're glad to see if you're Coach Gery Andrews of the Legends. One of your best players in these last couple of minutes goes down hard, but able to get right back up.
As Kyron Kalpawiki called for another personal, this one going to be his third. That's going to be something to watch down the stretch in this one. The leading scorer on the night so far for the Spartans with 10 points and a bit of foul trouble.
Yeah, certainly do not want your best players in foul trouble in games like this. Games are just going to be so tight and physical down to the end. You want them to have that little bit of spare room when it comes to fouling late.
Spartans now trying to set something up here offensively. A tie ball game for the first time since 0-0. Day, a cross-court pass. Jamison, three, no good. But another offensive rebound, and Day finishes it at the rim. And now he's up to double digits with 10 himself.
Great movement right there between the two big men. Great Grant Leeper and Tucker Day working back and forth, making sure that one of them would get a nice look, and Tucker Day got just that.
Yeah, we've seen since Tucker Day came back from his injury just about 2 weeks ago, him and Leeper on the court at the same time hasn't really been able to get going for the Spartans. But right now in this ball game, the two bigs are working together.
And that just makes this Spartan squad even more deadly. That's the type of front court this team really needs if they're going to be contending for the conference title and sectional titles and maybe even more down the line.
And now the Spartans getting possession back here with a 2-point lead now. This, since the middle area of the second quarter when the Spartans were facing an 11-point deficit, they have just completely taken control of this game. At one point, down 24-13 in this one. Since then, on a 21-8 run.
And what a run it has been for the Spartans. They've just controlled everything from pace of play to ball movement to everything. As Tucker Day, what a tip-in right there.
Tucker Day just feasting down low in this one. Now up to 12 points.
We saw him put up 16 1 week ago against Snyder. He's looking to best that here tonight. What a great performance it is from Tucker Day. And there were some worries about him. When he first came back from his injury, he wasn't playing as good as we know he can. But he has since turned things around, and he is just playing some great basketball.
As Haney down low, attacking inside. Couldn't get it a drop. Now the Spartans, 10 seconds left in this third quarter. They have a chance for the last shot. Already have a 4-point lead here. Kapowicki attacking inside, loses control of the basketball, but it goes out of bounds off the Legends with 1.9 left in the quarter. Going to be a big chance here for the Spartans.
You take another look at it right there. Kyron Kapowicki, he certainly wanted the foul call, but it'll be the Spartans' ball anyway. And with 1.9 seconds, still plenty of time to get a shot off.
Graber sends it into Jamison. He gets a shot up, no good, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of action. It's a Spartans 36-32 lead over the Legends. Welcome back to Spartan Arena as we will now send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery.
Thank you, Noah. And it has been exactly 6 years to this very day that Northside has won at Homestead. If you remember anything about that game, you'll remember that Northside legend Keon Brooks led a monumental comeback. They trailed by as much as 9 in the fourth quarter. Now, Northside, they have a legend in the brewing in themselves. Bronte Johnson, a very athletic, a lot of comparisons to Brooks. Now they lead by 4. Could we see a repeat of 6 years ago? We'll find out.
Thank you, Anthony, and it's going to be a fun fourth quarter in this one as it is a 4-point deficit now for the Legends as they were controlling early on in this one, but since it's been the Spartans, and now we'll see what happens in this fourth quarter action.
And 4 points is a lot more manageable than the 9 that Anthony just spoke about 6 years ago, especially with the Legends getting possession here to start the fourth quarter. They just need to take things one possession at a time. Don't force up any silly three-pointers. Just work the ball, and they've got to try to get Bronte Johnson going. He's just been pretty much a non-factor in this one.
Yeah, Tay Johnson only 5 points in this ball game. Last time out a week ago against Northrop, he put up 47, and right there, he gets a big bucket and one. Now he's up to 7 in this one.
Well, Bronte Johnson is not a non-factor anymore with that one right there. He heard what we were saying, and he did not like it. Driving to the hoop, getting the layup to go and the and one. And now a chance to cut the Spartan lead down to just 1 point. And Bronte is a 68% free throw shooter on the year.
That one's all net there for Tay Johnson as he's up to 8 now, and the lead is down to 1 for the Homestead Spartans.
Similarly to what I just said for the Legends, the Spartans don't need to force anything either. Just play your game. You're up right now by a point. It's been a tough game. Conserve energy for what's going to be coming in these final minutes while also finding yourself open looks like that one.
As that was just short and ends up a long rebound in the hands of the Legends as Tay Johnson quickly attacks the basket. Almost got it to drop, but it rimmed out. But an offensive rebound from Dickerson.
Nice job there by Bodie Dickerson, able to find an open teammate out around the arc.
And now a Davenport triple, no good, and it's rebounded by Tucker Day of the Spartans. And then a jump ball is called as Bassett and Leaper got tied up there.
Right before that tie-up, we saw the three-point attempt from Javion Davenport, someone who entered this game shooting 13% from beyond the arc. He had a great start to this game with 2 made three-pointers in the first half, but since then, he's just been ice cold in this one.
And with the jump ball that was just forced by the Legends Bassett, it was possession arrow favoring the Spartans, so they retain possession, but the arrow does now shift over to the Legends, so that could be a big thing later on in this game if there's any more tie-ups, as Tucker Day now going to the line after drawing some contact at the rim there.
Yeah, no, and I highly doubt that was our last tie-up of the game. With how physical these two teams have been, just diving to the floor, it seems like every possession. That possession arrow could come into play in a big way in the final 6.5 minutes in regulation of this one. And the Spartans, even though you retain possession there, you definitely don't want to give up the possession arrow in your favor.
As Tucker Day goes 1 for 2 from the line on that trip, he's now up to 13 points. As you see Tay Johnson once again with an and one. He just goes flying to the basket. He is just electric moving down the court.
Bronte Johnson has just absolutely taken over this game for the Legends. He has just exploded here in this fourth quarter, and the beast has awakened. Tay Johnson, now a chance to give his squad the lead.
And he does, knocking down the free throw and already converting on his second old-fashioned three-point play of this fourth quarter.
And you gotta love it, especially in a day and age where the three-pointer is a big way that teams play. There's nothing better than watching someone earn those 3 points the old-fashioned way.
As the Spartans now facing a deficit once again, just by 1 now. Trying to create here offensively. Jamison inside his mid-range pull-up jump shot. Catch from Will Jamison.
And that's one you don't expect Will Jamison to miss at all. Basically a free throw worth 2 points right there. Great job by Jamison.
As Bassett just shovels that one out to Dickerson as he fell down. Davenport tries to attack inside, and now it's a young three-pointer, no good. And a rebound by Will Jamison.
And I don't think that was intentional leaving him that wide open, but it worked out for the Spartans because right now the Legends just can't hit from 3. They're relying solely on Bronte Johnson.
Kalpawiki could have hit from 3 there either, but how about the effort from Alex Graber? Came flying in for that board. Couldn't get the putback to go, but drew the foul.
Yeah, drew the foul. Some hard contact right there. And Alex Graber on the season shooting 66% from the free throw line. Certainly a respectable number.
The first one's no good. As we see the difference in rebounds in this game, the Homestead Spartans controlling the glass for most of this one.
And that's just a crazy number to see. The Spartans sitting at 32 rebounds in this game. A super high number. Meanwhile, the Legends sit at just 18.
Graber gets his second free throw attempt to go there. Now a 2-point Spartan lead. Bassett has it outside. Now out to the corner. You see Die with it. As this Northside Legends squad has been battling in a hotly contested game all throughout this one. As Davenport pulls the trigger on a 3, no good. And yet another offensive rebound. We've seen Bodie Dickerson come up on the glass big for the Legends.
Yeah, Bodie Dickerson playing a big role for them down low. Came into this night with 4.4 rebounds per game. And he's been big rebounding again tonight.
The Spartans faithful getting loud here as Johnson takes a step back 3, no good.
And that was a bit of a silly shot right there from Tay Johnson. We know he can hit wide open. We know he can hit open 3-pointers, but that one, he had a bit of a stutter before it. Just not one he really should be taking in this situation.
As the ball there gets tipped out of bounds. And we're going to get a look at a block from Tucker Day here, just swatting Tay Johnson, saying, not in my house, at the rim that time.
Yeah, that Spartans defense has just been so electric. I don't know if we've ever talked about the guys in the paint for the Spartan squad as much as we have tonight. Tucker Day, Grant Leeper, and Alex Graber just absolutely dominating the painted area.
That time, Alex Graber couldn't get a teardrop to fall, and Johnson cleaned up the glass. Bassett attacking inside, and he just lost that ball out of bounds. Tried to shovel it out to Mikey Dye, but could not connect.
And Mikey Dye didn't even make an effort to save it. He thought it was off a Spartan player. The official saw it the other way, and now the Spartans have a chance to push this to a 2-possession game halfway through the fourth quarter.
Now under 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter as Jamison just walks his way across the timeline. The Spartans trying to extend their lead. Jamison with another mid-range jump shot. We've seen him be cash money from there all season long. And in this fourth quarter, he's coming up big from that range, already with 2 of those in the past couple of possessions for Sparty. And he's up to 6 now on the night.
Yeah, Will Jamison's starting to wake up a little bit in this one, starting to make a big difference for the Spartans. As you take another look at that beautiful stroke, getting that ball to go in, nothing but net, and that is just so hard to guard as a defender. Not much you can do when you have a guy like that who can just pull up from anywhere.
Jamison really had a slow start to this ball game. Only 2 points entering this fourth quarter. Now up to 6. He's coming off of a game where he had a career high 26 points on Tuesday against Columbia City. Maybe in the last couple minutes here, 3:43 left, we might see a lot more of him. As we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery.
Thank you, Noah. And Coach Johnson right behind me is saying, just don't let them get to the basket. Northside has been cold shooting from beyond the arc in this half. In fact, they've only made 1 3-pointer. Coach Johnson, he knows that their strength is going to be driving to the basket, especially Bronte Johnson. So he's making sure and emphasizing that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. Right now, Bronte Johnson has just been able to attack very well, attacking the basket. And Coach Johnson, really all game long, has just been in the mindset of let the Legends shoot those difficult triples, but do not let them get inside.
Yeah, and that strategy really wasn't working that well in the first quarter because the Legends were able to hit those 3-pointers. But since then, the Legends have just cooled down more and more from beyond the arc, and that's why the Spartans were able to close that big deficit, come back, take the lead by 4 now. And with the Legends struggling so much to hit threes and really get anything going that isn't down low, it feels like a tough deficit for them to come back from.
Davenport trying to attack inside, drew a foul on the Spartans there. That's just going to be their 4th team foul and a 2nd personal on Tucker Day.
Tucker Day picking up his 2nd personal like you just mentioned. Nothing to worry about right now. 2 fouls with just over 3 minutes remaining, but something to maybe start keeping your eye on a little bit.
As Dickerson goes strong at the rim and finishes it. Now it's a 2-point ball game. 3 minutes left. Trying to stay atop of the SAC is on the line in this one. That's the last 2 remaining unbeaten. 4-0 Northside versus 4-0 Homestead.
And the Spartans have done a good job of locking down Tay Johnson in the last couple of minutes. But Bodie Dickerson said, ain't no way you can lock me down as well, going in for that dunk.
Dickerson really has just been great on the offensive side, fighting for those offensive rebounds. We've seen him come up with those in crucial moments all throughout this game.
He's just so good at making plays when his team needs them. He's a big reason of why they have stayed in this game, even as the Spartans have seized momentum and really been playing better basketball for most of the second half.
Leaper trying to attack inside, can't get it to go. Great defense from Dickerson, and then a board from Johnson.
Grant Leaper did a good job of taking his time there, waiting for the open shot, and given the circumstances, he got a fairly open look, just couldn't get it to go.
A 2-point deficit for the Legends as Bassett takes the 2 and ties it up.
Bassett stepped right in front of the arc right there, hitting that 2-pointer, and now we are all knotted up at 42 apiece with 2 minutes remaining.
Kalpawiki setting up the offense for the Spartans. Now Jamison looking for his mid-range shot. Had nothing there and then just goes all around.
Well, Jamison playing a little bit of around the world right there. Able to get the ball over to Alex Graber, and then a foul called against Bronte Johnson. That's going to be his 4th on the night.
That's a huge foul there, because if Bronte Johnson picks one more up, that would put him in for the night.
And I think I know where the Spartans are going to be attacking right now. Going to Bronte Johnson right there. And the foul looks like it's going to be called.
As actually it appeared Bronte only had 3 fouls before that one, so that's going to be his 4th personal actually.
Bit of a scoring error right there, actually sitting at 4 fouls like you mentioned. But now he's at 4 fouls, and another foul would put him out of the game. Bit of a silly foul right there from Johnson. Next time you just got to go straight up, force the Spartans to go through the contact without committing a foul.
Kalpawiki on that first free throw, a rare miss. 84% shooter on the season, as he does get the second one to drop. He's now up to 11 on the night.
And you got the second one to go, but if you're a Spartans fan, you really got to hope that missed free throw doesn't come back to bite you.
Bassett pulled a deep 3-pointer there, could not get it to drop, but then a fight for the rebound. It goes to the floor, and it's a jump ball between Davenport and Kalpawiki. And we talked about a couple minutes ago when the Northside Legends forced the jump ball and got the possession arrow now their way. That could be crucial, and right here, it is crucial.
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago, the Legends D was able to force the Spartans to use their turn with the possession arrow. And now 5 minutes later, it's come back to be a topic of conversation as the Legends get possession of the ball, looking to take the lead.
As Young attacks inside, over to Dickerson down low. The Legends trying to get something going as Day just swats Davenport out of bounds. Tucker Day, that's his second big block of this 4th quarter.
Tucker Day is having himself a day. So many blocks, so many big plays on both sides of the ball. And look at that elevation right there. Just doing such a great job of being able to get up and knock that ball away.
The Legends need something. Dickerson at the rim, and he was blocked but fouled. Tucker Day so close to getting him cleanly, wasn't able to, and fouled Bodie Dickerson at the rim there.
As we get another look at this one, Tucker Day comes flying in against Bodie Dickerson. Shout out to our camera guys getting that great shot right there. But now Bodie Dickerson, coming up after this timeout, will have a chance to tie or even take the lead.
A 43-42 Spartan lead as Bodie Dickerson will go to the line. A timeout from the Spartans, and we'll take a short break. We'll be back with the last 1 minute of action from Spartan Arena. Welcome back to Homestead versus Northside from Spartan Arena. The SAC first place right now on the line, as these are the two remaining unbeatens in conference play, as we have a tightly contested one right here. Northside down 1, but they do have Bodie Dickerson at the line shooting 2 free throws.
And Bodie Dickerson's going to have so much pressure on him right now coming to the line. His team trailing by 1 point, and he can tie or give them the lead. The biggest free throws of the season so far for the Legends.
Dickerson, just a 64% free throw shooter on the season. A big one here, and he just leaves that well short. And that gets the Spartans crowd hyped.
Well, it appears Coach Johnson did a good job of icing the shooter right there. You take a look at the rebound stats. Spartans at 37, Legends 23.
Dickerson can't get the second one to drop it either. And then that is going to be a foul called on the Legends. That's going to be Bronte Johnson's 5th. He's out for the rest of this one.
And for the second time in this game, the student section gets to celebrate Bronte Johnson fouling out. A little bit of a scoring error earlier. We thought he was at 5, was actually at 4. And you just got to play smarter basketball than that. You just got to let Kyron Kalpawiki go when you are sitting at 4 fouls. You're such a big piece for your squad. You cannot make a foul like that.
And now up by 1, the Homestead Spartans with Kyron Kalpawiki at the line. He'll be shooting a 1-and-1, as that was the 8th team foul on the Northside Legends of this half.
The one thing about that foul, though, is it's not the worst thing in the world with the Spartans being in the bonus, in the single bonus, if the Legends have to foul in the final 59 seconds of this one.
Kyron Kalpawiki, all season long, he's been a clutch free throw shooter. We saw him knock down some big ones against Bishop Dwenger about a month ago. And right here, he's got a second big one at the line. And they both drop in. Kyron Kalpawiki ice cold from the line there, as we now have 59.6 seconds left, and we get a timeout here from the Legends. And overall, we are just 0.4 seconds ago on the game clock, we saw Bodie Dickerson be at the line for 2 free throw attempts, and it was a 1-point deficit for the Legends. But now it's a 3-point deficit for the Legends. What do they got to do here? Do you think they need to try to get a 3-pointer, or maybe just try to get the quick 2?
With just under a minute still remaining in this game, I think you go for the quick 2. Obviously, you have a wide open from 3, take it. But just try to go for the 2. Try to get it to Bodie Dickerson or Eugene Young. We've seen him be a little bit cold here in the second half. We got to try to find a way to get him going.
And now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery.
Well, Coach Johnson seems to be drawing up to his players that Northside is going to go for a 2-point shot. He's taking a gamble. He says he's not going to allow any shots inside. Don't foul. If Northside takes a 3, that might be detrimental to the Spartans. They are planning for a 2-point shot.
And you would think overall the Northside Legends probably going to be going for a 2-point shot here. And that's exactly what Coach Johnson expects them to be doing, as we just heard from Anthony Gery, our sideline reporter.
And with the way the Legends have struggled to hit 3-pointers in this second half, Coach Johnson sounds like he's just going to let them have them, and they've got to make them if they want them.
And here we go for the Northside Legends. A huge possession here, trying to stay atop of the conference. Kalpawiki almost got a steal. Not able to do it, though. And then Graber almost gets in the passing lane. Now in the corner, it's a 3-pointer. It's long. Rebound controlled by Jamison. And then a blocking foul will be called on Dickerson of the Legends. And that will send the Spartans to the line.
The Spartans faithful loving that one, and not the shot the Legends wanted. They walked right into the Spartan trap. Coach Johnson looked Coach Andrews right in the eye and said, "I dare you to shoot a 3." Coach Andrews' team took that dare and just cannot get it to go. And now Will Jamison can push this to a 2-possession game.
And that was Rodney Jones' first time on the floor all night long, and he took that big shot, not able to hit it for the Legends, as Jamison gets a big free throw. Now it's a 2-possession ball game. Spartans up 4. Jamison with a chance to make it a 5-point game.
Every point counts in the late stages of a game. This would be huge to push it to 5.
And he does, as Coach Johnson of the Spartans will call a timeout, and we will take a short break as it is a 47-42 Homestead Spartans lead. Welcome back to Spartan Arena here as we just have 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. It's a 5-point Homestead Spartans lead and the Northside Legends. They're going to need some big buckets down these last 40 seconds to try and come back and win this one.
And they probably need a 3-pointer right here. That would cut the lead down to 2. And then you're looking at a situation where if the Spartans miss just one of their 2 free throws, you still keep it a 1-possession game. But no matter what, they got to move quick.
Davenport moving quickly to the basket and gets the 2 to fall. So now it's going to be a 3-point game. A big bucket there from Davenport, keeping the Legends within reach in this one. Just 6 seconds running off the clock, and the Legends get 2 points. Probably a successful possession there from the perspective of Gery Andrews.
Yeah, and when the plan is to go for just 2 points, that's perfect execution of the plan. And with 32 seconds left in this one, you have some time to try and force a turnover against the Spartans. You don't necessarily have to go for the foul right away.
And if they do have to go for the foul, you don't want to be fouling guys like Kyron Kalpawiki or Will Jamison. Those are guys who all season long have been knocking down their free throws. But if Grant Leeper or Tucker Day, both 40% free throw shooters, are out there on the floor right now, if you're the Legends, you want to be fouling either one of those 2 guys.
Yeah, I certainly don't want to foul Jamison and Kalpawiki because hitting just 1 free throw pushes it to 2 possessions. But yeah, you would imagine they're going to have to be looking to attack Tucker Day. We've seen him struggle to be able to hit some big free throws late in games. He's not always super consistent from the line. And if you're the Legends, I'd have to imagine that's who you target in this situation.
The SAC potentially on the line here. The last 2 unbeatens in conference play, both 4-0. As Graber's going to send this one in. He sends it into Kalpawiki, and then Kalpawiki fouled right away. 84% free throw shooter on the season entering tonight's ball game. Once again, not really who the Legends want to be sending to the line, but they just try to foul as quick as possibly there.
Right, and certainly the guy you don't want to be sending to the line. But when it only runs off a second off the clock, it's not a super huge deal. You just really want to hope he misses at least 1 here to try to make it so you've gained a point on that possession swap.
Kalpawiki makes the first one. Lead back up to 2 possessions.
And it's important to note, I mean, looking at those free throw stats, the Spartans 12 of 16, the Legends only 3 of 7. But important to note, the Legends have no more timeouts, and the Spartans only have 1.
The Legends got to move quickly here, and then Kalpawiki is going to foul the Northside Legends. That's just going to be the 6th team foul there for the Homestead Spartans. Probably a smart decision there, just trying to slow it down and let the Spartans' defense get set.
The only thing about that foul is, though, Kyron Kalpawiki now sits at 4 fouls, and if he were to get another foul, he would obviously have to come out of the game, and he's someone you want on the floor for free throws.
As Dye in the corner, a 3-ball short. Rebound tipped around, and then a foul will be called down low. That one is going to be called on Bodie Dickerson of the Legends. And now the Spartans, a 5-point lead as Graber is walking his way down to the free throw line for 2 free throw attempts. Spartans very much in control of this one.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine if Graber's able to get both of these to go, it would put this game almost into the history books. Of course, if he misses one or both, the Legends are very much still alive.
And right there, he gets the first one to fall. A 2-possession game with a chance to make it 3 possessions with this second free throw. And he does. The Spartans have been so clutch down in crunch time from the charity stripe overall. As the Legends trailing by 7, just got to get anything to go. Bassett blocked on that 3-point attempt, get it right back, and then at the rim, gets it to fall in. And then that is going to be a timeout here. But the Legends currently don't have a timeout. So it's going to be a technical foul, excessive timeouts.
Yeah, you cannot call a timeout if you do not have one. That's an automatic technical foul, and that pretty much put things away in this one.
So now Kapwiecki will be shooting some technical free throws as the Spartans holding on to this 5-point lead. 7.3 seconds remain in the ball game. Kapwiecki knocks down the free throw to get himself up to 16 points now on the night. The leading scorer for the Homestead Spartans, as we've really seen Kapwiecki come up big with his 16, along with also Tucker Day with 13 points, Graber with 11, and Will Jamison with 8.
Yeah, but we just saw those rebound numbers right there, and that was the main reason the Spartan squad was able to pull out the victory. 39 rebounds in this one, an absolutely huge number of rebounds.
Jamison's going to take the inbound and try to just milk it out here, and he will. That will do it. A 53-46 win for the Homestead Spartans as they remain atop of the SAC. The 5-0 Homestead Spartans now in conference play as the Legends will fall to 4-1 in conference play.
What a showing from the Spartans, and what a great game that we just saw. The Spartans did a great job of coming back from an early deficit in this one, trailing by as many as 9 points at one point in this game, but coming back, fighting from the deficit in a big win to continue to control their own destiny in the conference.
They got the huge win, a 7-point victory over the Legends, and now we are going to be sending it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery, who's standing alongside Tucker Day.
Thank you, Noah and Tucker. By far the biggest win of the season to improve to 5-0 in the conference. What does this monumental win mean to you?
We're number 1 in the SEC now. It was probably one of our biggest games, and we're finally getting back into it as a team.
In the last few games, and especially tonight, you guys have started to run a zone defense. What has caused that change, and how is it working so well?
It's mostly because the 5, we were getting driven by it too easily, so we started a zone, and it's working pretty well, I'd say.
Tonight was the largest crowd in this gym's history. What is playing in front of an amazing crowd, a very loud crowd, mean to you guys and your team?
It was awesome. Normally, like last year, we had a lot of people. This year, it was pretty good. It was just fun to play in.
Moving forward, you guys control your own destiny in the conference. What do you guys have to do to secure a 3rd straight SAC title win?
We just got to continue to play good defense and stay as a team.
Congratulations tonight.
Thank you.
Noah, back to you.
Thank you, Anthony, and what a performance overall from the Homestead Spartans, along with a great performance from Tucker Day, and that will now wrap us up from the booth here as it was a 53-46 Homestead Spartans victory. As we will now send it to a short break, but we will be back with the OPS post-game report.
Welcome to the OPS Post-Game Show. I'm Anthony Gery, joined alongside analyst Noah Lancz. And what a game we just saw. Went down to the final seconds. This is SAC basketball.
That was, if not the best game we have seen here in Spartan Arena. Just a great game that we saw. SAC always lives up to the hype, and we just had a great one here.
And how about Homestead's defense? They made a change. Coach Johnson called a timeout in that second quarter, made a change to a 1-3-1 zone defense, and it suffocated Northside the rest of the night.
That's really what made the difference. They're struggling defensively. Northside got out to an 8-0 lead to start the game. They're up by as many as 9. Coach Johnson switches it, 1-3-1 zone. Spartans start playing really good defense, hitting their shots. They get themselves back in the game, and then it was a close one back and forth, but Spartans just prevailed in this one.
I mean, this just shows how good of a coach Coach Johnson is, able to get his team to make those changes live on the spot. It truly is something special that only Coach Johnson seems to be able to do.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's just crazy to see that he trusts his kids that much. I mean, these are high school kids out here. Switching something in the middle of the game, he trusts them that much to do it, and I mean, he got rewarded for trusting them.
And Grant Leaper, Tucker Day, how pivotal were they rebounding the basketball? We're finally seeing Leaper, Day, since Tucker came back from his injury, we're finally seeing them work together. This is such a huge turnaround for the Spartans, and I think this win will probably give them a lot more confidence, just the two of them working together.
100%. I mean, we saw them both start in the Blackhawk game. That did not work at all. I mean, that was the first full game back for Tucker Day, but with that, it just did not work. We saw them play side by side together. This time it worked so much better. I mean, I think that zone probably helped somewhat, but also they just had a lot of more time to practice together, figure out what they wanted to do. They were working that high-low really well, and those two look great out there together.
And Noah, before we wrap things up here on this great night, do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, I think it's just going to be interesting to see what the Spartans do the rest of the season with their defense. I mean, 1-3-1 zone here tonight worked really well. Don't necessarily need it, but it's in your back pocket if you ever need it. And also, if Tucker Day can play like he did today, Spartans team could be really successful.
5-0 in the conference. The Spartans control their own destiny from here on out in the SAC. Thank you guys for watching our live stream tonight. On behalf of Noah Lancz, our producer Trevor Newhouse, switcher Joel McChesney, Braxton Hall, and play-by-play Noah Johanningsmeier up in the booth. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Anthony Gery, signing off, and have a splendid rest of your evening.